Hey, what's up, y'all? This is K-Ci, and you know I got soul.
Sounds good. So I gotta say, like the first time I even heard about you coming back with new solo music, I was talking to Fantasia when her album was about to drop, and that just shocked a lot of us because we didn't know when you were gonna put out music. You know, Jodeci had made their comeback, K-Ci and JoJo had made their comeback. We didn't know what was next.
Right.
So I mean, what kind of made you decide to come back with a new album and new music?
Well, you know, when the whole never, you know, it was time. It was time. I've been ready to do it for a while now. So I get the Caldwells out the way. So I said, okay, I'm ready now. And so I was just prepared to do it. Like I said, something I've always wanted to do.
Right. And K-Ci, I remember when you put out your solo album, My Book, back in 2008, the industry was a completely different place than, you know, music downloads were a thing. Streaming wasn't even a thing back then. Like, how are you kind of approaching this album versus your last one?
Well, actually, in a lot of ways, different, man. First of all, I have a very stronger and better, I could say, backing behind me as far as representatives. I have the proper management now, a proper department. My backup department is so incredible, man. So that's the difference now, man. And I mean, like I said earlier, I'm in a whole different place in my life. Like when I did the first My Book, I was doing that really. I was just doing that to be doing something, you know, to kill time, really. And it wasn't promoted well. And that was due to lack of management, because at the time, my management at the time was managing K-Ci and JoJo. He really didn't see the vision that I saw for my solo. He saw the vision of K-Ci and JoJo. I was just like, that was a hush your mouth, be quiet, go and do this. That's how that was.
Right. Fair enough. So, K-Ci, you're an artist. You have so many different styles. We've seen it with Jodeci, with K-Ci and JoJo. So I was just curious on how you were going to introduce this project, and you come out with Jesus Saves. Like, what made you want to go with that one first?
Well, I could have came out with a love ballad, but I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to tell my testimony on the first single of this song, which is Jesus Saved, because he really saved my life. And like I said, I'm in a whole different light now. And I went through an illness that I thought I wasn't going to be a survivor. Doctors thought I wasn't going to be a survivor, but I did. But I did that song because the way the world is now, it's a song that needs to be heard. And I think that's the first thing I want to do on my R&B album, you know, with a gospel, you know, because I never go away from gospel. I just put a gospel song on this R&B album.
Right, absolutely. And how did you kind of approach this song? Because a lot of people know about the version that you did years ago. Was it to do something similar to that? Did you want to bring a new flair to it? Just talk about that.
Yeah, like I recorded that song when I was 12 years old, and it meant a lot to me then. So, it's like the difference now is, of course, my maturity of it, and I just changed it by added a choir to it, and it's like this song, it's a lot of passion to it. I think it's got more passion to it. Now, I'm not saying that it didn't when I was younger, but I think it's a little more mature passion to it now.
Right.
And it was successful. It was successful then, and I know it's going to be successful now, too.
Yeah, and you sound great on the record. And, you know, you mentioned you had some health scare in recent years. I mean, just talk about what it took for you to get back to this point, because you sound great.
Oh, thanks, man. A lot of prayer, a lot of faith, and God was just on my side, man. And a lot of prayer, meditation, healthy diet, like I exercise. I walk on the because I live on the lake, so I walk there. And my hobby, fishing, man. My head space is so clear on this project. So I'm just like I feel fully controlled, and I'm cool with it. I'm just happy, man.
Man, I love it. And just talk about this body of work you're creating, because I mentioned you have so many different sounds. You come out with the gospel record first. What are we going to hear for the rest of it? Is it half and half, R&B, gospel? Is it more R&B? Just talk about what we can expect.
it's gonna be R&B. It's gonna be R&B, but you know, it's gonna sound like K-Ci. At least I think it do. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Right.
A lot of love. It's gonna be a lot of love on this album. It's just gonna be like combined with love and a lot of how can I say this word? It's gonna be like it's gonna be nice, man. I'm very happy about it. My team, they're very happy about it. It's like I just can't wait till the full thing is released.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to picture and figure out what sound you're going to go with this time around, because I've been a huge fan of you since Jodeci, since K-Ci and JoJo. I love both entities. Would you say that this new music falls more under the Jodeci sound or the K-Ci and JoJo sound, or do you think it's something different?
It's going to be a K-Ci sound, but you can't help. When you listen to anything that I do, like, you hear Jodeci, that's K-Ci. You hear K-Ci and JoJo, that's K-Ci. You know, JoJo sung most of the song, but if you hear my voice, you're like, yeah, it's not gonna sound exactly like Jodeci, but you're gonna tell, like, yeah, I hear Jodeci in that. That's because you hear K-Ci, and I was the lead singer. So it's gonna be nice, man. Like I said, it's gonna be heavy, real R&B. Something that we're really missing right now.
No, absolutely. And I don't know what it's like for you, but, you know, I spoke to your brother JoJo, and he's coming out with a solo project as well. And I told him, like, for us, we're so used to you and JoJo going back and forth in the vocals. You know, we're just accustomed to that. Did that take you some time to say, okay, I can do this by myself?
Yeah. Well, I had a little, see, that My Book album is really like a rehearsal, a practice. So it really wasn't that hard because, like, when I sing, man, I even say this on the stage, man, said a few times. When I'm on that stage, I really don't try to look back and see who's behind me. When I'm on that stage for me. I don't worry about what JoJo or the other guys going to be doing. I'm doing my thing. So that's how I'm approaching with this album and anything else I do. Now, when I do sing duet or with the group, I give them their place. I play my position, and that's what I'm doing them for all the positions. K-Ci on this one, though.
Man, we look forward to that. And then speaking of Jodeci here, you know, we've seen clips where, you know, in recent years it's been yourself, Dalvin, and JoJo. A couple of clips where it's you by yourself. Like, what is the state of Jodeci right now?
But right now, I'm more concentrating on my solo thing right now. I don't speak on the Jodeci project, but, you know, hopefully one day our fans will get that Jodeci sound back.
Fair enough, man. And I got to talk about your influence on R&B, not only Jodeci, but just you yourself. Cisco obviously is one that looks up to you. Like, just talk about your impact on R&B from your perspective, because a lot of people love Jodeci. They love your voice. Like, you must get a lot of love when people meet you, right? Oh, yeah, man. It's a lot of love, man. I'm just thankful and grateful for it. All my listeners that have been supporting us for the past, with Jodeci, K-Ci, and JoJo for the past 30 years. And I just appreciate that, man. And what was that question again? I mean, just talk about that love that you get from people. Oh, the love. The love is crazy, man. Like I said, we've been getting it for the past 30 years, and it's like there's no fan like K-Ci fans or Jodeci fans or K-Ci and JoJo fans. I mean, we have the best fans, man, in the world, and they've just been supporting us, and wow. And I just hope they show me on this project that I'm doing now the same love that they've always been showing us for years, and which I know they will, because I don't think they'll let me down on this. So my faith is kind of strong with my fans and listeners. Yeah, K-Ci, I can tell you just from the response that we've gotten from our readers, they're really excited for this one. So I look forward to what you have to bring to the table. And, I mean, I got to talk about your history for a second, if that's cool, just because you have so much history, so many years in the industry. I just want to, you know, take it back to the beginning on Jodeci's first album. Just take me through the mindset of a young K-Ci on the Forever My Lady album.
Well, the mindset I had, like, I was young. Of course, I was hungry, man. Starving, actually. You know, coming out with that project, man, and eager. And I was like, smiling every day, and just I was one take K-Ci that time. You know, you get Devon would give me the song. I'd knock it out. I would knock it out quick, man. He was like, that's why they call me One Take K-Ci. And I was just so happy when we had to go on the road and travel, like going to these places never been before, but I always dreamt of going. And I was like the typical late teenager, early 20s kid, man. Traveled the world. I learned a lot, saw a lot. You know, I'm not going to say I was really the most honest, but, you know, I was a kid at the time. I was young. Having fun, man. That's how I look at it. I was having fun.
Right. And we fast forward to the Diary of a Madman album. You guys were on another level with that album. You guys reached new heights. Like, what's the mindset of a young K-Ci at that time?
It was like, when we came into that album, Diary of a Madman, we had, like, Andre Harrell, he let us have, like, that fully control of that album. And everybody think we was mad or something. He wasn't mad, man. He wasn't mad at all. They just well, I guess our image was mad. But anyway, going into that album, man, it was like we spread our wings. It was like, okay, Jodeci have arrived. Jodeci have arrived, man. That was another fun project, man.
Yeah, that was a great one. And then the show, The After Party, The Hotel. I love this album just because, you know, of the vibe of the album, especially that second half of the album. I know, like, Timbaland, Missy, that whole crew was there helping you guys create that one as well. Like, what do you remember about that album?
Like you just said, man, we had, like, Timbaland and Missy them on that album. And that album was a lot of fun because we isolated ourselves and we was in a whole different mindset in that album. Once again, we had fully control of the art direction and everything, man. So doing that album, that was fun too, man. It was that really, you know, let us solidify that Jodeci, they are the bad boys.
Absolutely. And quickly, I got to go into the K-Ci and JoJo run because let me tell you, like, I grew up, I knew Jodeci, but, you know, I was really introduced to you guys through K-Ci and JoJo. I'm a little younger. And the reason why is because all my life crossed over. And now when you look at it, like, it's crazy. Jodeci crossed over as K-Ci and JoJo with All My Life and all that. Like, just take me to that period in your career, crossing over, being on pop stations, being on MTV. Like, what was that time like?
That was crazy. It was a whole different audience, you know, that we wasn't used to. We used to the hardcore, soulful R&B audience. But when we came out with All My Life, the K-Ci and JoJo projects, wow, it was crazy, and it was like a whole different world for us, man. Exciting, too.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then, of course, let's fast forward here. Jodeci drops their comeback album, The Past, Present, and Future. This is an album everyone was really excited to see you guys. You know, what was the mindset of K-Ci at that time after being gone for so many years? Well, I mean, K-Ci and JoJo did drop a project prior to that, but just the return of Jodeci, like, what was that time like?
It was about the same thing. You know, the vibe in the studio and the guys, we all got along, and it was just cool, man. Wasn't different from any other album that we did.
Right. Gotcha. So, K-Ci, I just brought it from the beginning until now. Here you are, solo project. You know, let's end this off here. Like, what's the mindset of a K-Ci going into it? What's the expectation? You know, what are you trying to do with this album? And what's the message you want to send to people?
Like over all my music, man, message is love. You get what I'm saying? The message is going to be love. Like we're doing every more adult love. And it's going to be exciting, man. Just can't wait.
Can't wait for that as well. And K-Ci, man, I appreciate you for taking the time out for this. You're a legend, definitely in our eyes, and many people. Is there anything that you'd like to add?
I just want to say thanks for this interview, man, and thanks for all the support, man, and just thank you for just being with us. And you can get me at my website at KCHailey.com.